Tonight I'm going to be making a pan burrito, but the first thing I need to do is put together a taco seasoning mix, and I have come up with my own taco seasoning. And the first thing we need is 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1/4 teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, and oregano. Then we're also going to need 1/2 teaspoon of paprika and 1.5 teaspoons of cumin and 1 teaspoon each of dried onion, salt, and pepper, and then 1/2 teaspoon of cornstarch. And the cornstarch will help you when you need to cook down your burger. So what you're going to want to do is get a pound of burger browned along with 1 onion if you want. Paul, you don't have to put onion in this, but let's grab that and get going on that. This recipe originally called for 2 pounds of ground beef and 2 packages of taco seasoning mix and a few other items. But that was quite a big recipe because you put it in a 9 by 13 pan. So for a family of 4, I cut it in half. So you only need a pound of ground beef or ground meat, whatever you're going to use, and a small onion, if you so desire onion, package of taco seasoning mix, and if you like refried beans, you can add a can of refried beans to this, along with a can of enchilada sauce. You're going to need about 4 to 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese and the same amount of cheddar cheese, and then soft flour tortillas. So while you are browning your onion and ground beef in a pan on the stove, you are going to want to set the temperature of your oven at 350 degrees. Ground beef is browned, make sure you drain it. And then you're going to want to add 1/2 cup of water if you're using my taco recipe. And then you're going to want to take your taco mix and give it a little stir and then dump it in. Just give it a little shake all over the top. Put the whole thing in. It might seem like a lot, but it's not. And then you're going to want to bring your water back up to a boil and then simmer it until all the liquid has been reduced down. And make sure you give it a good stir so that everything is coated. While the meat is cooking down, you're going to want to prepare your pan, and I like to spray a lot of my pans. Makes for easier cleanup. Then you're going to take soft flour tortillas, and these are big ones. Look at that. All I'm going to need is 1 in the bottom, but sometimes if I have a square pan, I'll cut them in half or quarter them so that I make sure I get all of the corners and everything covered. Once the liquid is evaporated from your taco meat, you're just going to put all your taco meat and spread it into the bottom of your pan. And if you wanted to add a can of refried beans, this would be the point where you would add that can of refried beans to the recipe. Once you've done that, you're going to put about 1 cup of mozzarella on the top of that. And I'm really bad at measuring stuff. I just kind of go till it's covered. Do about 1/2 package. If you're doing 2 pounds, you're going to need an entire 8-ounce package. And then you want to take the remaining shells, place those over the top, I'm going to show you how I actually normally do that. I just fold them in half and rip them down the center. And then I would have put them at nice angles because you want that whole top to be covered. So since I don't quite need another full one, I'm going to kind of give it a little bit of a triangle. It's like putting a little bit of a puzzle together. And a little piece right there, so the whole top is covered. Then you're going to take, and I just use El Paso red enchilada sauce, and you're going to pour the whole can right over the top. And if you're doubling the recipe in a 9x13, you'll be using 2 cans of the enchilada sauce. Just grab a spoon and spread it out so it's even across the top. And then you're going to take another 8 ounces if you're doubling the recipe. If not, 1 cup of cheddar cheese across the top. It looks like I'm at the end of one of these. The cheese that you put on the top of this is really, I think, personal preference. And if you've added the refried beans, you'll be a little closer to the top of your pan. But evenly spread your cup of cheese over the top. And then we're going to pop this in the oven for about 15 minutes or until the cheese melts on top. Here you go, everyone. I just pulled it out of the oven. Pan burritos. Enjoy. Stay safe out there.